So, fresh here from Dr Hyde Park, where Padraig Pearses have claimed their second ever Roscommon senior football title, defeating Clann here 2-8 to 11 points. We're joined by former Clann and obviously a disappointed man, Donie Shine. Donie, first half very much in particular wasn't a very kind of pretty game. Standard did pick up in the second half. Conditions, I think anyone who would have been watching on TG Carroll would have seen, wasn't ideal. I did say overall it would be a disappointed man, but would you still say the best team are walking away with the Fatty Cup tonight?
Yeah, I suppose initial thoughts are that really good display by Pearses. I thought they were very good. Definitely early on in the game, they controlled the pace of the game. And that would suit them down to the ground because they like to play kind of a slow build-up, and then there's some pacey guys coming from deep, and it really suited them early on to control the pace. I thought it was a very big performance from them. I was really impressed with them, to be honest. Clann never really got going, while at stages we got into the game and had a chance. We got it back level late in the second half, but a couple of goals really sealed it. But on for initial view, definitely the best team won, I think.
Yeah, and even looking back, like scoring rates from either team were not really that overly impressive. Like Clann was only 50% with 11 from 22. Pearses 10 from 17. That's only slightly higher, 58%. But I just kind of felt that they seemed to have a little bit more kind of a risk take about them, especially in that first half when they came out of the blocks firing all cylinders. Clann kind of just seemed to play maybe a little bit too kind of passive, sideways. You know, they didn't maybe take on a couple of chances. I know maybe one stage Ian Harney in particular took on one. It didn't kind of work out. You know, they looked the more likely side to get the goals in the first half, and then eventually they came from the second half through Paul Carey, who was probably the standout player, and then substitute Jack Tummerty, who's only 18 years of age, fresh out of the minor ranks. He's probably going to have a big future ahead of him.
Yeah, I suppose two well-worked goals. I think a lot of the breaking ball around the middle seemed to go Pearses' way. They got on that. Clann, for some reason, just didn't get at it today. It just didn't happen. I thought early in the second half they obviously talked about maybe pressing harder on Pearses, giving them less time on the ball and pushing up higher, and that seemed to work early in the second half, and we got it back level. But obviously two well worked goals. Paul Carey looked really good, I thought, in the corner. I think he had 1-3 or 1-4, and I think he assisted the second goal as well, so he looked pretty good. Also Conor Payne had a great game, and Hubert Darcy was a great outlet as well. I think the full forward line, you know, they really showed for the ball for Pearses, and you know, I think probably the difference on the day.
Yeah, and even like the 3-4 dailies obviously playing from three, and all chipped in with a point. Lorcan, Niall, and Connor, two of them coming in the first half. Lorcan kicked a massive score, I think, which was the first score just after the goal, to push it out to 4 points. And like it just looked like even before that first goal, Clann were just starting to come into it. They kicked 2 points in a row. I think Kieran kicked a free, Dyden kicked a great score from wing back. That was the first time they'd drawn level since the ball was thrown in. Then that Paul Carey goal, and then a decisive enough kind of moments. Clann bearing down a goal straight away. Emma Kenny, a long way out. Simple option would have been maybe just to tap it over the bar. Went for the goal. Good save by Paul Whelan, but you just kind of felt that was a momentum killer for Clann, and almost nearly felt like psychologically Pearses just getting another score by protecting their 3 point lead. It probably should have been just back to 2.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, when you're in the moment, you know, he obviously thought the goal was on, so he took the shot. It was a good save. In the end, I think there was one moment I thought Clann, the momentum might have shifted was, I think Ian Harney turned over a really good ball over the far side on Conor Daly, and we got a score from it. And then obviously Carl Degnan got the equaliser or back level. I thought, maybe there's a chance we'll push on now, but you know, I think on the balance of everything over the 60 minutes, the way Pearses played. They controlled the game, they controlled the pace. The Dailies controlled a lot of possession. I'd say the possession stats are big in terms of Pearses' favour, but it suited them to control the play, especially with the way conditions were, and I think they played their game, they were allowed to play it, and I thought they were very impressive.
Yeah, and going forward now into Connacht, like this with their second campaign in 3 years, they gave Corofin a decent enough game in Tuam Stadium 2 years ago. They're going to be playing the winners of Galway or Leitrim in the semi-final. Just say if it does go on to be the Galway champions, it will be here in Hyde Park. We know Corofin are in that final. The last I seen, Moylaw and Mountbellew were 7-up at half time against Moycullen. Don't know how that finished. That'd be a big statement win. They do look like a side I think that would be well set up and going forward going into Connacht. I said that kind of maybe to a lot of people during the week. I felt they were probably the best side that could represent Roscommon in the province. And the fact they've got like recent kind of fresh experience, likelihood to say if results go the way they should, they'll have a home semi-final here at the end of next month.
Yeah, 2 titles in 3 years. Look, and they've kind of got the same 15 players on the pitch the last few years, so they're obviously getting very, very good experience. It's as good as I've seen them play in the last few years. Thought they were impressive the way they played. At the back, Mark Richardson looked very good. I know he had a lot of help from guys dropping deep, but he still did a good job on Kieran because he's literally unmarkable one-on-one. But he seemed to get a hand in. He was able for him pace-wise, so he looked really good. Around the middle, from 5 to 12, they looked really solid, and you've got like a lot of inter-county experience there with David Murray and the Dailies, three Dailies, and also Niall Carty, who has a lot of experience at centre forward, and he seems to work deep and do a lot of work for them as well. Very good basis of a team, and yeah, definitely I think they'll represent Roscommon well.
And just even looking further down the road, like say from Nancy Cunningham mindset point of view from watching today, we obviously touched on there was a lot of players from both representatives that make up a large part of his panel on show today. But the likes of Paul Carey, who mightn't be that familiar outside the county, was on the Roscommon under-17 team to reach an Ireland final 4 years ago. The likes of Mark Richardson, who broke into the team during the 2020 league campaign, then COVID and injury affected him. They're kind of the two main players you think that could be grabbing his attention going into, I'm sure Roscommon will be back training soon enough, and I think maybe even anyone from a kind of Clann point of view might have put their hand up again today. Jack Connaughton, had maybe not his best game today, but overall in general had a very good campaign.
Yeah, I think from a Clann point of view, there's definitely a few players there that have put their hand up for places on the panel and places on the team. I think Kieran has had a huge year at full forward. Obviously, every game he plays, he's to deal with probably 2 or 3 defenders coming at him. So I think, he should be really nailing down his starting place with the Roscommon team this year, and I'd expect him to do that. I think Bolton, had a big year as well, captain of the team, led throughout the year. Even there later in the second half, he tried to lift things. I saw him delivering some long ball in. He really tried to dictate the game for a few minutes there and get Clann back into it, and he did that. And I think he's a lot tougher with Roscommon as well. As you said, Jack, huge year as well, and Paddy Gavin with the under-21. So I'd expect some of those guys to step up and make their mark at senior level, hopefully in the next season. From a Pearses point of view, yeah, I think you're nail on the head. Obviously, the Dailies are all there. Davy Murray. I think Conor Payne was also good today. He showed out the front. He won his ball. He's very clever in possession. There's a number of guys there I think that put their hands up, and a good few from the Pearses and Clann side. Yeah,
I think one that seems to kind of capture most people's thoughts throughout the county is Kieran Lennon. He's probably been, even backed up himself, probably consistently the best club for in Roscommon the last 3 or 4 years. So who knows? Like he overall in general still walked away with 6 points today. Clon's top scorer. Very, very good campaign. I'm sure he will be probably part of Nancy Cunningham's plans for 2022. Donie, thanks very much for your time. I know it's never easy after losing a big game like that, especially as well with the weather out there. I'm sure you want to get home, have a warm shower, get maybe a cup of tea, hot food into you or something like that. No more than myself. Yeah. But thanks very much anyway and taking the time out.
Thanks a million.